Hi guys, and welcome back to This is Fortaleza. For those of you guys don't know, my name is Jaque and Fortaleza is a community where we shed light about mental wellness and personal development. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I feel like if you haven't done so in the past, you probably might have this inner conversation with yourself in the future. Unless you already found your dream job and you're totally happy with your career, then this video is definitely not for you. I would suggest you watch another one of my videos. But this video is basically going to be talking about signs on when to quit your job. And I know this is something very sensitive to talk about, especially when it comes to careers, especially when you go to school, get a diploma, you get a job and you realize, hey, this isn't the job for me. Then this is the right video on, different signs on whether you should quit your job or your career. So with that being said, I'm going to dive right into 5 different symptoms. 5 different signs on whether or not you should leave your job. Okay. With that being said, the first sign that I feel like is super important for you to acknowledge is when your workplace becomes unhealthy. So your workspace should be something where you feel comfortable working in. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be happy. Ideally, you want to be happy where you're working, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to, run to joy to work. But you should definitely have that comfort factor. And if somebody in your workspace, for example, colleagues, employers, employees, personally insult you or scream at you, this can definitely take a toll on not only your physical health, but also your mental health as well. So if that does happen, or you notice a pattern of this, I definitely do encourage you to visit your HR department, your upper management, employer, boss, manager, whatever it is, and definitely consolidate with them so they can go ahead and make sure they're providing a comfortable workspace for you. If they don't address this, I would definitely take this as a red flag to definitely acknowledge on making the executive decision, an educated decision on changing either careers or jobs, okay? The second sign that I'm going to introduce is when it's causing you to develop bad habits. So when your actions begin to pull you away from your purpose and your values, you need to let it go. Never let a professional career or environment change you for the worse, especially when it comes to your morals, your values, and your beliefs, because those 3 things are fundamental parts of who you are and your uniqueness. So wherever you go in any work environment, you want to ensure that you properly communicate those morals, values, and characteristics to ensure that not only your colleagues, your co-workers, your employer, so all of them can honor those boundaries that you set up with them, because once they start to mess with those 3 different fundamental key factors, workspaces can become uncomfortable and can also make you feel unhappy, okay? The third sign that I think is super important for you to acknowledge is if it's no longer encouraging you growth. And as you guys know, I am a personal development junkie. Something that I learned earlier on my personal development career or journey is if you're not growing, you're decaying. So when you notice a source of purpose is no longer helping you grow, look to reinvent or change something about that work environment. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't want you guys to watch this video and decide, hey, I'm gonna quit. Jackie said X, Y, and Z. Leaving a job or a career is a huge decision. It's something that is super crucial, and I think, like I said, you want to make an educational decision based off of facts and emotions and all of the above, not just emotions only or facts only. You want to ensure you consider all the factors in making the decision on leaving your job. But if you notice that you kind of hit a plateau, you hit the end of your educational or professional career, I definitely encourage you to change it up. And if that also doesn't help, I would encourage you to find an alternative, a different position where you can move up, or maybe just leave that career or job in its entirety, okay? The fourth one is when you actively look for ways to avoid your job, this is definitely a huge red flag. And sometimes you do need to power through something to develop a habit. A great example is exercising. A lot of the times, most people don't. I can vouch for one of those people. Is that at the beginning of my uh, physical journey, I didn't like to work out. I didn't. I had to ease my way into and develop those habits and discipline myself. And now I love it. It's part of my program. It's part of who I am, my identity as a person. But when you feel like you need to take a break, or either it's temporary or a permanent break, I definitely would encourage you to do so. And if you still, after that break, you realize that it's not something that you're running towards to, I would definitely encourage you to reevaluate, again, that career or job, because a profession should be something that you approach with curiosity and anticipation, not with avoidance. So definitely make note of that. And another one that I think is fundamental, and I think I can resonate with this one a lot as well, is when you regularly approach work with an exhausted, a burnt out, or a dreading emotion. And a lot of the times it's not because the company is bad or the people around you are bad. A lot of the times it's just that you kind of outgrew that position and it's just not the right fit for you at that designated time. So if you regularly feel dread at approaching your job, it's time to seriously consider on changing your position or perhaps leaving it behind. We're here, our life is a precious life, and I would encourage you to find something, a career, a job that you really find enrichment in, that makes you feel happy and content about. Okay, so those are 5 different signs that I think are crucial for you to be aware before you make the decision of just walking up and leave. And again, I do encourage you to do this responsibly. Okay, with that being said, I'm also going to talk about the 2 main reasons on why employees stick to a company for such a long time. And I am a perfect example. So there's happiness rewards and incentive rewards. And if you're a business owner, I definitely encourage you to annotate these questions and these facts that I'm going to demonstrate, because this is crucial in order to retain long-lasting, effective employees. And when you have a happy employee, a lot of times it equals increased productivity, which leads to a successful company. And if they're not necessarily happy, then that's when incentives help you fulfill that purpose of completing the job, role, title, whatever it is. And 3 questions that you want to ask yourself in your workplace is, do they feel like they matter? Do they feel what they do has an impact? And do they feel like they're making progress? So incentive rewards show employees that what they do does have an impact. However, words of encouragement, in some cases, when an employee isn't happy, don't work. So that's when incentive rewards work to a certain extent. But in order to really maintain, like I said, an employee for a really long time, you want to make sure that you're balancing both the happiness incentive with the reward incentive hand in hand. Because this is a great example. Say I'm getting paid $2,500 a week, but I'm miserable and I hate what I'm doing. My lifespan of working there will probably not be so long. But say I'm working $1,000 a week and I really enjoy my work environment. I enjoy the people I work with. I have a sense of purpose. Guess what? My retention rate is going to be a lot higher, because even though I'm not getting paid with incentives, I'm getting paid with my happiness incentive, which makes me feel good as a person. So that's crucial for you to know as an employee. And also if you're an employer as well, you're like working at a job, this is huge to know as well, because is it really worth the money? Is it really worth the bonuses? If you're going to be miserable, if you're going to be sad and unhappy, that's definitely something I would highly encourage you guys to really acknowledge. And in summary, what I want to say is money attracts, but it isn't enough in the long run if you're not happy, okay? Happiness is not a destination, but it's a journey. So find what makes you happy and make revenue out of it. And I know this is hard because a lot of us, just like me, are constantly evolving and constantly discovering who we are as a person and what we want to achieve and what our purpose is and what our why is. So don't be too hard on yourself. And that's something that I, again, can take going back into like how this resonates with me is, as you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur. I do have a cleaning company. And before this, before February, I was also helping my mentor, Amy, who, has helped me through a lot of things in my life. One of them is personal development. Another is my business, and my professional career. And I was also running her company as well, which is a cleaning company. And I found myself kind of hitting a plateau within being an employee and being a CEO. I kind of was confusing myself and wasn't connected in that sense. And it was so hard for me to make the decision to leave as an employee because I love Amy. Amy's my sister. She's like my older sister that I never had. And everyone at Amy's Angels, Crystal, Danica, Izzy, Kim, like everybody, the employees, like I had a relationship with. To me, it was more than a work environment. It was literally like a second family for me. And I left with, a lot of love for that job and that title. But I knew that there was more designated for me. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, I have an expensive lifestyle. So it definitely is a humbling experience when you quit having that one source of income when you're used to having multiple incomes, because your ego dies a little bit and you realize, hey, you know what, like this isn't working out. I might have to get a part-time. And I'm going to share a quote that one of my friends sent to me, and I thought it resonated a lot with me. If you are an entrepreneur, or you're starting a small company, if you work within a company and you want to do a side gig, I'm a huge small business supporter. And the quote was, "Don't let social media fool you. Entrepreneurship isn't as glamorous as it seems. You will be broke, depressed, and ready to quit at times, but don't. Keep hustling. Remember that to get something you never had, you have to do something you never done before." And she said it to me at the right time because, again, I feel like I left a really good job where I was loved and appreciated to kind of just like fly on my own. And as I'm flying, I'm realizing that there's a lot of hurdles and there's a lot of challenges that I don't want to say I wasn't prepared, because I definitely am prepared, but it was challenges that I wasn't quite ready to experience. And this is something that you guys need to know about entrepreneurship. It's about working more than a 9 to 5. It's about getting your hands dirty. It's about showing up when your employee doesn't show up. So there's a lot when it comes to that. And I think something that has helped me a lot and helped me ground myself is realizing that I have my own timeline. And I know people that have graduated at 21, don't have a job at 26. I know people who found their sense of purpose and found a phenomenal job right out of high school. And guess what? Each one of them has their own timeline, and there's no right or wrong on whether I should be here or I should be there, because I'm this age. No matter what age, what race, whatever you are, like, don't compare yourself to anyone, because your clock is different from my clock. And everyone has their own pace. And most importantly, the message is just be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself and realize when one door closes, another one does open up, okay? With that being said, I hope you guys resonated with this. Again, I do encourage you guys to make an educational decision. If you resonate with a couple of these signs, make an active action plan on, okay, if this, I'm not happy here, what am I going to do? Or ask for support, you know, from your employers or your colleagues. A lot of the times we don't demonstrate that we're struggling because we're living in our masculine energy and we don't want people to see us struggling. But guess what? It's okay. Not everyone has all the answers, and that's okay. All right. I hope you guys resonated with this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Send this to somebody who might be struggling with their professional career. And most importantly, I'm sending everybody lots of light, love, and bendiciones. Bye, guys.